A new survey finds that many disadvantaged families struggle to provide dependent care either for children or sick and elderly relatives. More than 75% of the people surveyed were single parents, nearly half of whom had quit their jobs to look after their children. The survey also found that in families with a sick member, children are often forced to step up to provide care. Formosa News reporter Stephany Yang gives us the details.
Entertainer Juno Lee looks back at one of the toughest experiences she had to go through in life. She was 25 when her father was diagnosed with cancer. She took care of her father, worked and studied at the same time.
压力很大，然后可是你也只能把每天该做的事情完成，然后。
It's a lot of pressure, but you can only do what you need to do every day, even though I wasn't sure whether my dad would recover.
Lee is an ambassador for the Taiwan Fund for Children and Families. Recently, she went to Taichung to visit underprivileged families. She met Ah Hao, who became a caregiver for a parent, just like she had. But the difference was that Ah Hao is only a boy in junior high school.
This time, I visited two disadvantaged families in Taichung through the Taiwan Fund for Children and Families. One of the families had a boy from middle school called Ah Hao. He shared with me that they receive family support because his mother is sick. Imagine a boy in the 7th grade going between hospital, home, and school. It's a lot of hard work.
Lee also visited Xiao Wen, who had a stroke that affected her left foot when she was young. To pay for the assisted devices Xiao Wen had to wear, her mother had to work overtime during Lunar New Year's Eve.
The basic cost of assistive devices like shoes or those for the hands is about 30 to 40,000 NT.
According to a survey conducted by the Taiwan Fund for Children and Families, disadvantaged families with a sick member often rely on children to provide care. Among such families surveyed, 18.4% of children were in the role of caregiver. The survey also found that 75.2% of the disadvantaged parents surveyed were single parents. A little over 45% of them had to quit their jobs to provide care for their children.
We've endured many challenges due to the epidemic these past 2 years. Among disadvantaged families, about 50% of the families are in the service industry, or they freelance or take part-time work. Under the impact of the epidemic, they are facing unemployment and financial difficulties. We also see that many families, in addition to having financial issues, also struggle with issues involving caregiving and illness.
The foundation, which supports the care needs of disadvantaged families, is calling for donations from the public. From this January to November, it's raised 40 million NT less in donations compared to the same period last year. It set a goal of raising 70 million NT next year. Formosa News, Stephany Yang, Lu Bo-chong in Taipei.